Let's see where that mic is. Yeah, that's recording, and that is recording. Let's see. Hello, everybody. Tom Caltabiano here. I am talking to everybody. Let me go live on Instagram. Oh, let's get over there. Wow, that's so close. Crazy closeness. Okay. Wow, let me go. I have to go way back to go there. Let's see. Sunday, Tom Caltabiano, ELR 360 Live, talking about all things Everybody Loves Raymond. How are we sounding? Let's check this. Let's check this, everybody. This is the test. When you hear me tapping, do you hear tapping? Yes. Hi, Gil, my trusted friend in the UK. Let's see. Hi, Thomas Gerard. Hello, everybody. Where are we? Okay, 217. Yes. Hi, Kathy. Hello, everybody. I'm going to, Gil, just because you have held the canister. Again, the only post-Raymond who has held the canister, which should have a snack in it today. Good to see everybody. Yes, let's do this. Let's pull this up here. Yes, let's pull that up here for my what's known as my sight line. And then let's click on this. Hello on Instagram, Tom Caltabiano, writer on Everybody's Raymond, informal, non-official photographer, but I took so many photos. So we have so much to catch up with about, etc. I'm going to try a new feature here. Let's go back to StreamYard. And looking at Facebook, aloha, Bobby, in, what do they call that? Hawaii. Okay, so I did post a picture of Marie in our last thing. I'm going to say hellos. I want to follow up on that because Donnell, once again, has fully impressed me to no end, which is really good. Hello. Hi, Carol from Stafford, Virginia. Hello, Lynn from Toronto. What's the temperature there, Lynn? Because here in Hollywood, it is 75 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty toasty. Okay, let's see this. Let's see this. Yes, all of this. Clicking through messages like mad. All right, Christmas. Here's what we have to cover today. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the reunion. Because for those of you that last saw me, I was on the road, and it was a little bit hard for me to get a good signal. Okay, oh, there we go. Let's turn that up and that up. There we go. Now we're talking. Hi, Tom. Maria from Great Falls, Montana. Is that correct? Great Falls, Montana. Oh, I can show that. Can I show that? There we go. Yes, now we can show. Hi, Annabelle. You're getting winter there. Yes, 75 degrees and there's like 2 clouds in the sky, I would say, that we have here. So I just posted. Now, here's the good news. Let me see. I'm going to try and see if what this will do. Can we see that, everybody? But how does that look on Instagram? Let's see. These are, we promised, so every year, for those of you that have just joined us, every year we do kind of a Christmas video, a Christmas ornament. Wow, video. That's like the show. We do a Christmas ornament, and we have to make them, we usually vote. So almost everything we've made here has been voted on. You know, obviously we have to start with something, but you know we have to make the vote to make sure that we give the customers, which is you guys, what you want. Now, some of them usually we just keep them for the season, but some of them are such popular sayings. Like we usually hang ours on the door. That is a wreath. So I think we're thinking about having that perennially without a year. So lots of options. And it's just me and, just a handful of people over here working away in Santa's workshop. So let me talk us through this here. Let me see what happens when I go full screen here. Does that help me? Yeah. So happy holidays or Merry Christmas, right? So here, before we get into it, don't panic, everybody. We're going to put numbers next to everything. So you can be like, I like number 1 with number 2 with number 3, number 4, whatever. So happy holidays or Merry Christmas 2025, because that is indeed the year. Then this saying from the ball, either the full saying from the ball or the last saying from the ball, and it is not necessarily this font. We'll see. We'll vote on a legible font, etc. Everything can be legible, can be made more legible. Then this Christmas you're gonna love the Rolex I got you. Okay. And there's an option where you see the line, the setup line. You mean basically, I'm not going to read it verbatim. You still want this, even though you know it's fake, then you're going to love the Rolex I got you this year. That's the setup and punchline for those in the comedy business. So there you go. Okay, so let me go back to not full screen so I can read everybody's things and add a few comments. I would love to see more ELR products. It just seems so limited. Hi, Jessica. I guess there's 50 products available. So from us, don't forget, we are just me doing a little podcast thing here as a writer on the show. It was one of the complaints about that people had when the show was on the air. There was no merchandising at all, meaning no gifts to give to people. So, which was tough. You want a Hanukkah one? What's very sharp? We can do that line from Jazz Records, where Robert falls in the eggnog and says that. Hello, hi, Kim. I'm assuming Kim. Yes. Don't worry, Kim. Not so much. You're not that late because I was also late. Okay, so let's see this. So do we have a preference here? Just looking at that before I remove that, because I want to move on to how great is this though to be able to see images. I know we're in 2025, but I just have not. Usually I do the old school like they did in the 50s. I hold my iPhone up to the camera so you can see. Okay, let me scroll down and see if there's any opinions about how about Merry Christmas, just so you know. Okay, a little play on the Tissues episode. Hello, I want you to thank you for the ELR reunion. We laughed for 90 minutes. My ribs hurt from laughing. Rebecca Frank, that's very good. I'm going to put that up on there, on that screen. Okay, let's go over to Instagram. Let's close this and do this before I get into the nitty gritty. Okay, do one with the toaster on it. I'm gonna say there's a please implied there. The reunion show was great. Lots of sentimental moments. Yes, we'll talk about the reunion. So much more. Let's see this. My dream to meet Ray Romano. Okay. I think this is an old recording of Tom. Nope. I am live. Today is December 7th, 2025. Ciao from Cleveland. Hello, Suzanne Fortunato. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Yes. Scrolling up. Sorry, I'm just catching up on Instagram. Here we go. Okay, so I'm not seeing any comments about the options we're giving. So we will be posting, everybody, that very soon on our page with numbers. So you can chime in, and then you'll probably be available. They'll be available to order tonight, as soon as we get the vote, really. Once we get the vote, then we will be able to post it. Okay, so let me remove this. Let's see if that goes. Yes. Oh, now I'm back in full living color. The reunion. Let's talk more about the reunion. I did post, I wonder, I could share, but I'm not going to do it that way. I'll do it the old school way. So I posted just now, just so for you guys, it was a great reunion to see everybody together on the show. Okay. Let me see. Yes, the family photo ornament is on the sled. For those of you, the family photo is on the sled, for those of you who have missed it. All right. The reunion. The reunion is a reunion for you guys, for the show, for the viewers, but also so many people who hadn't seen each other in quite some time. So I just posted before I went live here on Instagram and Facebook, which does it simultaneously, our friend Ralph. So here, I'm going to hold this up to the camera, very old school. So there is Ralph and Patricia Heaton and myself with a bunch of cameras. Ralph did the hair on the cast on Evers Raymond. He had it easy with Peter Boyle, but, Patty could be a challenge, not personally, but hair-wise. And, of course, we know she had beautiful hair. And here is Ralph working on Patty's hair. That's in someone asked, why do you guys take Polaroids? And those of you who know. So that's Ralph working. I was trying to pull back, but let me just see how, look at that. That is during an episode. Polaroids are taken for continuity purposes to make sure in case we have to reshoot something. So there you go. That is filming Fun with Deborah. Ralph working on Raymond, Marilyn Boucher in the background, who is wardrobe, and then Shelley Woodhouse Collins with her fantastic head of blonde hair. She's makeup, and she is doing Deborah's hair. Okay, so sorry if you're getting seasick. Let me stabilize my hand. There you go. So, Ralph, I was there taking pictures at the reunion show, and I happened to catch this moment when Ralph came out and said hi to Patty in between moments. Let me see how we can focus. There you go. You see Patty being very surprised, and Ralph comes out, and then, okay, let me see where this is. Sorry. Wow, lots of comments. Sorry. Where did I hear? I'm going to go. Just so you know, is one of my favorite sayings of all time. Yes, it's a great saying. So there they are, about to hug. Ralph, I don't know the last time they saw each other, but, it was good to see each other on that set. So, and then here, there you go. They are embracing. Ralph and Patty had no idea that I was taking that photo. It was with the telephoto lens during the filming of the 30-year anniversary special. I was on stage in the wings, as they say. And then yes, so that's Ralph. So the reunion was a great reunion for the people that worked on the show and for you guys to watch. Now, I believe next week I might have a guest who was a producer on the special, if all things work out, and we can ask a lot of questions of him. We can ask him questions, but when you're doing that type of special, you're shooting a lot of footage. So during the live filming, which I guess took about 3 hours to film everybody there was a tremendous amount that was cut out because the producers working within the limits of what CBS says. So CBS said initially, and for those of you that heard me last week, I might have said this, Phil Rosenthal and Ray were like, let's make it a 2-hour special. And I think CBS was like, how about an hour special? And so it became a 90-minute special. And if it was an hour special, that's only 44 minutes. So it felt fast as a 90-minute special, right? Which is 66 minutes of actual content, because for those of you that aren't used to watching commercials, you watch it live and you saw a ton of commercials. So I apologize for that. We have no control over that. If the show was an hour long, it would have gone way too quickly. At 2 hours, the network is kind of taking a risk, because what if it bombs? What if nobody loves Raymond anymore? And as you guys might or might not have read, it was the highest rated special of the year. And it was so high that they reran it a few days later, which is almost unheard of. In my time, I don't remember any network saying, you're going to see the same thing Friday that you saw Monday. Almost unprecedented. Sorry, I'm going to take a little sip of tea. So, it worked out well. Okay, do you guys recognize this font? Okay, here we go. Here's the font. Yes, Nemo's Pizzeria. There we go. The S gets buried because of that. Great focus there. Okay. Oh. What am I drinking? Have you guys ever heard of this? So I try and drink gin matcha. Japanese green tea with rice. It is a tea and a meal all at the same time. No, it is not a meal. But has anybody ever heard of this? Am I showing my ignorance by saying, has anybody ever heard of it? Has everybody heard of it? Matcha is how I'm going to say it. But I might be incorrect. Very, what do I want to say? Warm and wholesome tasting. Very cozy tasting. I know cozy is not a flavor, but it does taste very good. Okay. Deb Tucker Frank. Hi. Hello. Let's see. Let me adjust this a little. Let's bring this question up. Deb. ELR reunion question. The two ladies in the audience that spoke, comma, one, I'm not correcting you, I'm trying to help out my cadence. One from the Philippines who mentioned she learned English by watching ELR, and the other lady asked to recreate the dance. Did the person who was in charge asking the audience ask anyone in advance before filming if they had a very specific story or question for the reunion, and then those two women were chosen? Yeah, so those are random studio members, and I think everybody was asked a question before, and I don't know if they were verbal questions or written down questions, but I think there were a whole bunch because there were a few more people that spoke to the cast and asked questions of the cast. But as we saw from the final cut, an entire 30-minute interview or 25-minute interview with Alex Meneses wasn't included in the cut just because of the challenges of time, and we know how much we love Alex, who played Stefania. I was in it for a blip, and I spoke for 25 minutes. So a lot of the stuff was cut. So the questions that the audience asked, there were many more than those that you saw, but they only had so much time. Now, I'm talking 1 hour a week about the show for 5 years. So. And I don't think you guys have become bored yet about the questions or about this show. There's so many questions. There's endless questions. When you're on prime time on a network, every single second is thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So the ratings of 6 is exceptionally high. 6 million viewers is exceptionally high. I don't know. People, you can look it up what a hit show is nowadays, but 6 million viewers is really, really good. Just so you know, in our day, at the height of Raymond, we were probably averaging 20 million viewers. And I think the finale got something like 35 million viewers. So I think what that proved, and I think you guys will agree because you're watching me, there is a longing for wholesome entertainment. Forget that I'm completely biased and a fan of Everett Raymond, but any wholesome comforting show that you can watch over and over again would be welcome now, but I don't see it happening. There's so much not that on television. So there you go. Hi, Ellen. Let me see. Kathleen, the reunion was tastefully done. Loved how they brought out each actor one at a time. Thank you so much. So, okay, let's bring out this thing. Who was there? Gianni was there. John Manfrotati was there. Fred Stoller, who played Gerard, was there. The cookie lady, Amy Aquino. These are all, let me see, who else? Andy Kindler was there. Kevin James sent a video in that they played to the audience, but that didn't make the cut. And Kevin was kind of, what am I going to say? Not in disguise, but you know, I think Brad goes, who was that? Just kind of being funny, but also I don't know if people would recognize him right away. So, let me see. Sorry, I'm scanning through the questions. Tom, how do you say your last name? I say it Caltabiano. There's no long A in Italian as far as I know. But I've been, even if you get close, I'm happy. So some people say it Caltabiano. Caltabiano. It's more of a short A. But some Italian native speaking can say it really perfectly. Madeline Sweeten, yes. Madeline, it was great to see Madeline. And a lot of people have asked, how did they address her brother's death, one of the twins? And I think there was some confusion. Some people thought there was there was a new series, and how did they mention that the son was missing, that the one son was missing? So I thought they mentioned it as best they could. You know, it's a sad subject. Teenage suicide is not an uncommon thing, unfortunately, but the point they made is how the efficacy of people calling the suicide hotline and how much it helps people. So if that can help that was very good. That was worth doing the thing, the entire special for that. Hi, Karen Jack. Is there any way we could possibly see some of the clips that were cut out? I don't know, Karen. I don't know off the top of my head. So when I talk to the producer, so the short of it is the clips of this series you can usually find elsewhere. The clip of Alex or the writers talking, or the extended cut of Letterman talking, which was great to see. Letterman, because without Letterman there would be no show. Those would all be great to see. But I will ask around and see what there is. Okay, here you go, Deb. Can you share what are the other things in the works from the ELR reunion? Will there be a Christmas special before Christmas or during the holidays? If we wanted to see another special of the ELR reunion, or was that a tease? Thanks, Deb. So, as we know, Deb, I have tried in many ways to foster things moving forward, on the special front, and I'll get in depth another time about that. But I have no control, nor does Phil, nor Ray, nor any of the producers, on what CBS decides to air. I think what they learned by showing a program twice in 1 week is that people are longing for anything Everybody Loves Raymond. So would it make sense for them to do a Christmas special? Yes. Do I know if they're going to do it? I don't, but I will let you know as soon as I hear if they are going to do it or not. So, yes, that is the. I'm just in general. I think, and I should now say a little bit something about the Long Island Museum, where the set you saw in the reunion special was put on a truck, reassembled with some added things in the Long Island Museum in Stony Brook, Long Island, and they have put on a fantastic show. There was a special event, and at the last minute, yours truly and a guy named Ray Romano showed up at that museum, which was probably not going to happen if a whole bunch of things didn't fall into place. So if you go out there, you will see the Big Fork and Spoon. You will see, for those of you that missed the Paley exhibit, you'll see much of what was at Paley, but completely different. But original items, original wardrobe, the canister, there was a couple of canisters, the toaster, the only, I think the only copy of the toaster that exists in the world. That's right. You will see it. You will be able to see it there at the Long Island Museum. It's the Long Island Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame. Okay, this I'm just going to bring up. This I love. Kathleen Hine. I've never heard of it. Okay, so I don't know what you are mentioning, but thank you, Kim. I don't know what you were mentioning. You never heard of it. Let me see if there's a follow-up, but I just like that. I like the definitive I've never heard of. The T. Now I owe you, Kathleen, an apology, because it seemed like I had a snarky attitude about this tea, and you were answering my question in a very sweet and nice way. Gen Matcha, I'd never heard of it either. Oh, I need a manicure. Oh, boy, that's the problem with holding up things. I don't think I've ever had a professional manicure in my life. When you grow up in New Jersey, you don't do that in the sticks. I thought it was way too short. Karen, I thought it was way too short. It could have easily been 2 hours or more. Okay. Karen, I agree with you. The audience agrees with you, but the network decided they didn't agree with you, and I think they might regret that. Finale to I did see your blip. Yes. It's funny because I definitely played a big part in having the entire finale happen. And I think I was in for 10 seconds, maybe. I missed Chris Elliott. Peter, was he invited? Hi, Carol Nicholson. Not only was he invited, but he talked on screen for quite a long time. But he had a beard and a hat, so perhaps you don't recognize him. You didn't recognize him. So Chris Elliott was there. And just so you know, some people couldn't make it because it filmed on an October day, the October 18th. So David Letterman, I believe, was in New York, and Chris Elliott, I think, was in New York or wherever they got him, not on the day of filming. So there are quite a few people that weren't able to make it to the actual filming, like Kevin James, etc. Let's see this. Hi, Karen. Yes, thank you, Lisa. He was on. Thank you, Lisa. See, this always makes me happy when I miss a question and somebody answers right away. Okay, let me go back here. Mona, maybe they could do it and all the things that were cut out and make a YouTube out of it for 2 hours. Yes, you know, it's funny because what I hear is this desperate plea to see everything, which totally makes sense. It's like, to the network, we so want to see it. And why can't we see it? And now, eventually, somehow, maybe there's a chance that we will all see it. We will see everything. So, okay, let me go back to Instagram. The neglected stepchild Instagram. Let me catch up. Oh wow, it's still showing. There we go. That's caught up now. Okay, let me go back because man, my head just in that thing just really dominates. Okay. It would be amazing if over the Christmas holidays they played an Everett Raymond Marathon. Families would be able to have many opportunities to have family TV time together. Yes, I think you are correct. Let me see this. Okay, let me scroll back up. Forgive me, everybody, because I have to catch up on all of these things. Do one with the Christmas family photo. Yes, going this. I love the idea of the family photo Christmas ornaments. Okay, yes, we do have the family photo that I took, and it's on the sled, I believe. Hi, Tom. I started watching the Paley interview on YouTube, I found. Hi, Jenny. That's great. That is absolutely great. I wish they had Andy and Gianni on the reunion. They were part of the show, and what are they doing now? Yes. Yes, that would have been great. And as I said, Alex Meneses, who played Stefania, had many roles. Johnny, Andy, they just didn't have time. You know, they were there. They're great. They're all funny, but it would be a 3-hour miniseries then. Do you think Ray would come and do another interview on Instagram? Yes, he definitely will be coming back again. Okay, let's scroll. I see that Mark Sweet was the warm-up guy. Was he the original warm-up guy from the original tapings? Yes, Mark Sweet did every episode of Raymond, and he did the reunion special, which was great. I wish Amy, Gianni, Gerard, and Stefania would have been introduced. Yeah, heartbreaking. Would have loved to have seen them because everyone thought it was too short. Makes sense that maybe they will do something more. Absolutely, yes. Everybody, it would be amazing if over Christmas holidays, yes, okay, now I'm caught up. Yes, that would be great. Some wholesome TV. Hi, Charlie Snickers. Or is it Charlie's Knickers? I don't know. I'm glad you mentioned that too much was out from that. So much was cut out from the special. We saw so many of the cast at the end and were so disappointed that they hadn't spoken about the show. Yeah, they could have mixed it up. He wasn't available to do further appearances. I don't know what that's in reference to. Okay, I have to move this screen so I can see. They're referring to the Christmas family photo that Snaps took, I think. I love that idea, and the Toaster Ride too. Yeah, so just so you know, every photo that we do on merchandise, etc., is they are photos that I took personally that I own. So I don't know why I didn't take a picture of the moment of the Christmas picture. I have to look through my folders. And again, I have to figure out a way, folks, because time is going to run out. I have 30,000, not today, we have plenty of time. I have 30,000 photos, and I probably have 25,000 that you guys have never seen. And what I was thinking about doing is narrating them, and you know what the Ken Burns effect is. It's named after the documentary in Ken Burns. You zoom in on a point in the photo where you want to land in a slow zoom. I can do it with my hand and a photo, if you want. Is this my phone? Yes. And narrate it. And do 15 seconds, 20 seconds, and narrate every photo. It would take, well, as I go, not all at once. But I think that would be an interesting thing for people to see because so many of the photos are so filled with stories. And I hear now that's kind of what I started doing is just posting photos and then doing a description for you guys of what is going on in the photo. Okay, so the reunion, just to summarize, yes, we are saddened that not everybody made it into the show. B, there is a possibility of a Christmas thing. I will let you know as soon as I know. None of us have control over what the network does. This reunion special took 5 years to make happen with a tremendous amount of resistance from various different fronts. There were a couple of big changes in the network, and then it finally happened. So, but Phil and Ray have no say over that. Okay, hi, Deb. Let's bring this up. I saw on Instagram the actress Alex, who played Stefania, her interview at the reunion, but yes, that was video that I filmed. As you mentioned, she was cut. She showed the building with the food was all along with hugging Brad and Ray. Hopefully there will be another special in the works for future showing. Yes, edited out a reunion. That would be nice. Hi, Mona. Maybe I shouldn't bring this up. Should I keep reading, Mona? I already put your comment up. I saw a lot of people were concerned that Amy, when she came out, she only hugged Ray and Phil. I wasn't even thinking about that, but I saw a lot on the internet and on your page. I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? Let me try and read into the internet how the internet thinks. The group thinks. So she didn't. Let me read this again. She hugged Ray and Phil, and but she hugged Ray. She only hugged Ray and Phil. She didn't hug Brad and Patty. So what is the internet saying then? That has a feud with Patty and Brad or something? So I'm glad you brought that up, Mona. So yeah, I guess you could read into stuff. They all saw each other. Everybody saw each other backstage. They've seen, Patty and Phil have visited Ray and Amy. Wow. Ray, holy moly, Phil Rosenthal and Monica Horan have visited Patricia Heaton in Nashville. If you tune in to Somebody Feed Phil in Nashville, you will see Patty and Phil and Monica hanging out together. So that, I would say people are making something out of absolutely nothing. But I'd be interested. I didn't read any of those comments. They're saying that they're having a feud, or is it Brad? Am I missing the point completely? Are they saying that she and Brad don't get along and they're faking it, and they have to sit there through grinding teeth of hatred and anger? I don't know. But here's our logo, and here we go, folks. Available, the AIS. We landed on that. We thought, what if this is in mixed company? And it's on your shelf, and a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old or a 9-year-old sees it spelled out. So that's why there's the asterisks. I know that's kind of PG in this world where everything seems to go, but I'm going to now taste a little bit of cappuccino. Exceptionally delicious out of the AIS mug with a red interior. By the way, I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. Did I hit that point, Mona? Is that kind of what they thought, that Monica didn't like somebody? Let me catch up. Hi, Peter. Mantel? Where are they going to do with the furniture? When are they going to do with the furniture? So I'm going to say you mean, what are they going to do with the furniture? What do they do with the furniture? Oh, okay. Do they store it and use it in another place as another prop? And yeah, it looks like a real house to me. And I loved Rose Raymond. The mother of Raymond was funny, and like just a typical family. Peter, excellent question. So all of that furniture, for the most part, went to the Long Island Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame in Stony Brook, Long Island, where it'll live for, I think, at least a year. Again, we have no say over where that goes, or who uses that space. In other words, maybe it's there for 2 years or something like that. But almost all the furniture. What furniture didn't go? The couch, the original couch, is in Ray Romano's house. So, but all of that stuff went to the museum where you can go sit. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Hi, Amanda. Pippin de Rossier. Am I adding a lilt or something there that doesn't mean? Is the show filmed? Now, Amanda, usually I don't enjoy 9 question marks or 10. It's very demanding when you have 10, more than one. That's really, and usually I get it in the form of a text where someone writes me something, and I have, as you guys know, for those of you who know, Tom Cultapiano here, writer on Never Was Raymond, and I was the unofficial photographer behind the scenes. As you guys know, who send me messages, I get messages on Instagram, Twitter, X now, I guess it's called, Facebook, TikTok, my personal messages, emails. I have 4 different emails. So sometimes someone will send me a text, and I don't answer within 6 to 8 seconds, and then I get 7 question marks. That is not endearing. But however, Amanda, I appreciate your question marks in this case. The reunion show was filmed at what used to be CBS Television City at 3rd and Fairfax, used to be Gilmore Field in Hollywood, a very, very, very storied place where they did All in the Family. I say it used to be CBS Television City because now it has been sold and the CBS logo is no longer there, but it's about as iconic a building as you can see. If you watch the TV show Hacks, you can see it featured in there. Then we filmed season 2 through 9 at Stage 5, on Stage 5, at Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank, California. You can see the stage from the street if you drive on Olive Boulevard. Then, season 1, we were on something that was then called Hollywood Center Studios. It's now called Sunset Las Palmas Studios. Before then, it was called General Studios, and that is where I Love Lucy filmed for the first 2 years of their show. I hope that answers the multiple question marks, Amanda. We all have a serious case of ELR longing disorder. Yes, absolutely. Were any of the props / furniture from the original show, or does CBS pay for the reproductions? The couch was from the show. There's quite a few things. I supplied some photos in the background from the show. Madeline Sweeten, there's a photo in there. But a lot of it had to be sourced new. So new, used, and that was the tremendous crew on Raymond, set design, set decorator, etc., who did it, and hopefully we can have them as a guest. Yes, Kathleen, the T, sorry. Tom, is there a platform where we can watch the reunion again? So I've heard that somebody has illegally posted it on YouTube. I have nothing to do with that in any way. Meaning I don't know about that. You can watch it on Paramount Plus, I think, all the time on demand. Hi, Janet. Is it the engraved toaster? Yes, the engraved toaster, which I think is now owned by Roy Rosegarten, is in the Long Island Museum behind a glass case, armed guards. It's a very, very thing. The episode where Patricia Heaton threw out the Muhammad Ali letter, where did it come from, Ray or Phil? That's a good question. I have to look up where that episode idea came from. My guess is neither Phil nor Ray. I think it was another one of those writers. Kim, you are going to meet Annabelle at the Limehof. So the Limehof, that's the acronym for the Long Island Museum and Entertainment Hall of Fame, is phenomenal. It's much more than was at the Paley exhibit, which was phenomenal in itself. But there's a lot more to do, and I will say, there was a restaurant I went there. Do I have a card? I don't. I think it's called The Country, let me see, The Country Inn or something like that. Look it up. It's not far from there. It's really a once-in-a-lifetime thing if you like. Let me see if I have a picture on my phone. How would I know that? How would I search 1 million photos at once of the interior of this restaurant? Let me see if I can find it, because that's worth the trip going. So let me think now. November 24th, so November 25th, November 26th. November 26th, 2025. So people were asking how many photos. I think I had people guess how many photos I have on my phone. I have, okay, there it is. Let's see. Here, is this me in the mirror? Let's see this. Sorry, folks. I know it's not exciting hearing me. But I think I have 350,000 photos on my phone. And let's see if I have found a beautiful one of that setting. Let's see this, going through here, going through here. We were treated there by Kevin, who is the kind of artistic director, I guess, of Limehoff, as they say. Yeah, I don't have a clean... oh, here we go. This is just of the bar area. Let me just see this. Yes, with the owner. So that's the least decorated portion of that restaurant. So look it up, Kim, Annabelle. The Country something. The Country Inn, the Country Space, the Country something. How's that for, I could be an expert witness. And, oh, that's on the end of Long Island. Okay, let me see this. Yep. I have more, but let me see. Yes, there's a quick, there you can see kind of you can see kind of how good it is. All right, great, Kim. You will not be disappointed. Anybody who has a chance to go to Long Island to that museum, I would try and show up. Okay, I read Doris Roberts. Okay, let me just bring up so many great questions. I was thinking of the way the show was presented for the first 6 years when comedians Clive, Bob Newhart, and I think Mary Tyler Moore commented on the show. For future shows, maybe you could have stars speak about this show. Hi, Ellen. I love seeing Andy and saw the checkbook episode the other day and always appreciate his role over and over again. Yeah. It's not in our control. So what she is referring to, what Ellen's referring to, is in the 6-year clip special, we call it, we had celebrities like Ron Howard and his brother and other celebrities talking about Everybody Loves Raymond. It's kind of a very good thing to get celebrities to talk about the show. But it's literally, you see what you guys want to hear from. You want to hear from the characters, etc. So the more outside celebrities you have, yes, would it be nice to have George Clooney saying how much he loved the show? I don't know if George loves the show. Actually, you know what? I don't know if he did, but he filmed next to us. I have some footage of George that I filmed with Ray. Let me know if you want to see that. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but that popped in my head. But yes, would it be great to have celebrities? But you see how limited time is. So you have, people that were there and they didn't make the cut. Hi, Deb. I read Doris Roberts liked her champagne. Yeah, well, Patty said that, I think, in this special. And you might have read it in the book, too. I'm not saying you didn't. Is that the time she fell at the Food and Wine Festival that you and everyone attended and she had to go to the hospital? You were telling me about the story when I questioned you on the 19-year-old episode. Well, I was telling everybody, right, on this show. With Robert's date, how that came about, I'll never forget that long story you explained here on Live. Yeah. I don't know how to take that, Deb. That long story. You mean that great story or that boring story? So what she's referring to real quickly, Phil Rosenthal organized to go to this thing, I think it was for Angel Food or something like that, giant food festival on the Universal Studios back lot. And it's unlimited. If you come from humble beginnings and free food is completely foreign to you, you feel good that it's helping feed children because you feel guilty because there's so much free food. You can't eat it all. And there's unlimited free wine, too. So at that event, I can't, in the court of law, tell you what Doris Roberts was drinking that night. And I would have to prove that she drank too much. But what happened was she fell and she hit her face. We drove her to the hospital, the Burbank Hospital near Johnny Carson Park. And we all hung out there waiting for her to get the news on, how is she doing? It wasn't that serious. It looked worse than I think it felt. She was a trooper. Doris Roberts was a trooper. And I think so that could have been an innocent tripping or something like that. But the second part, the more significant part of the story is that was when the young girl came with me to that event, and it was totally fine. But then we had to sit in the hospital room, me with the young girl and a bunch of comedy writers and their wives. So now we're almost like we're forced to be in a writer's room. And so now, if you can imagine, what do writers like to do? They like to make jokes and make fun of things. So at that point, the evening became loaded with many, many jokes about how young that girl was, and that didn't help for the future. That didn't help, and that helped foster the young girl episode, which came about after that. Okay, let me see. Oh, should I try? Let me go on. Let me do this. Comedians like Bob Newhart. Yes, Ellen, you're forgiven for any spelling errors. Champagne is my favorite too. Now, Janet, I don't think it is technically a food, but I guess it is kind of a food. Hi, Deb Tucker. By the way, did you get your laptop fixed? You told us about a month or so ago, along with your camera lens that was floating in the cooler. No, the camera itself with the lens was in the cooler filled with water. Neither of those got fixed. The camera, the laptop was going to cost $750 just to fix the screen, so I haven't fixed it yet. And the camera, I've been so busy since it happened in July that I have not been able to go to Nikon I have a whole bunch of other lenses here. This needs to be fixed. See this? This is kind of heartbreaking, this type of thing, right? That's the front of a lens, but that's actually a lens protector, but it's so damaged that I can't get it off. And then look at this one. This is also a lens protector. That has to come off. I really wished I had that for the reunion, but I took, like I said, 4,000 pictures, and I did have my telephoto lens there. I think I did. I think I had the big telephoto lens there. I even think more things like recreating Robert and Deborah's wedding dance and Brad saying, Monica, if I break a hip, it's on you, haha, or recreating scenes or script reading. Yes, Alexander, very good idea, just not a lot of time. And I think, okay, hi, Janet, let's see. In comments, people were concerned that, yes, she snubbed Patty. Wow. She snubbed Patty. Was Brad sitting there? Wasn't Brad? Did she hug Brad? That's a good, I guess that's a good rumor to start and to run with it, but you are really reading into that. I mean, they all saw each other many, many, many times before then. For you guys, it's the first time you've seen him, but she saw her many, many times, and probably also moments before in the dressing room, in the hair and makeup room. Hi, thanks, Tom, for the clarifications. I read a lot of comments, and I'm happy we addressed it. I'm happy everybody was happy with each other. Yeah, what would the feud be? Well, who knows? I don't want to speculate. Any word if they're getting to make mugs, ELR reunion available for purchase? I think we make the only mugs that you can get to purchase. As far as I know, I will ask the producer of the show if he knows, but I'm sure he doesn't know also. Good job pronouncing asterisks. Yes, unlike Ray, absolutely. Hi, Annabelle. With the exhibit at Limehoff for a year, maybe they could have an event/event similar to the one at the Paley in June with any cast who might be in New York, and including some we did not see on the reunion show. Yes, Annabelle, that is a fantastic idea. It's a little bit, it's just hard to challenge something. I'll get into details on the Paley exhibit, but that was all organized on a date when Raymond was going to be in New York, and we worked backwards from there and had to get as many cast members there. And as you guys know who were there, Brad Garrett wasn't there because Brad Garrett was on a tour promoting a Pixar movie that he was in. So it's very, very hard to schedule cast to be anywhere, all the cast. But I love that. I absolutely love that. Hi, Gil. I follow Amy Aquino on Instagram. She's messaged me back a few times. Always a lovely lady. Yes, we love Amy Aquino. Phenomenal. Phenomenal gardener also. How is your backdrop decision coming along? Oh, Deb Tucker, great questions. Have you decided what is your final decision? Thank you, Deb. Yes, I think, let me see. Do I have a picture of what I have so much stuff here in my desk. Oh, here's my phone again. Okay. So let me see if I can find, let's see, that, buy milk, pictures of my friend's cat, pictures of that. Let me see, did he send that to, so what I'm doing now is I'm scrolling through text messages, okay, that's a sports photographer. Let me see, oh, I know, hold on. Don't panic, everybody. That's a great question. I'm glad you brought that up. Who do I want to look for? So what I have to do is look for people that I don't text a lot and see if I sent them a photo. Here we go. This is kind of, but not exactly, but this is what we're feeling. This is what we're thinking. Let me know. A little bit of warmth there. Not the microphones, not my logo that big, but the sconces. Wow. You can tell I'm doing physical labor on the side because my hands have taken a beating. All right, here we go, everybody. So that's like a warm feeling, not necessarily a fern. I think I will put the canister on the back in back somewhere. Let me zoom in. It feels very old school, but I like the idea of a small table. And if I have a guest, they're very close to me. Again, anything goes. The sconces can be any type of sconce. So there you go. So that's the starting point. So maybe the canister up there, maybe a big fork and spoon hanging behind. But we're looking for a warm hangout that you would like to visit and sit and talk with me. Maybe we have some guests. Let's see. Let me catch up now. Boy, we're going to run out of time again, folks, because I still have to do the canister. But I wanted to show you this. Oh, I bent a page. See, it's funny because these scripts have lasted forever, but then when I handle them. So I posted this picture of, let's see, who did I post this picture of? Doris Roberts, and it seemed to throw some people. Let me see this. Let me see this. This must be, let's see this. So what I'm doing here is I'm leafing through pages. That's a term. I don't see. That's funny. I cannot find that one photo. Is this? So I'm looking for a photo of Doris Roberts that I posted, and I'm pretty sure it's from this episode, but now I don't see it. So I don't want to say that. Now I can't say definitively. Maybe is it stuck together? So these photos are all Polaroids that are tapes. So yeah. Oh, maybe is there a later flashback scenes? Let's see. Let's see this. No, I'm gonna have to look again. I'm gonna hold you guys in suspense. Okay, let's see. Very nice from Canada. Hello, very nice. Love the wood paneling. Very warm feeling. Are you going to do anything with your photos you took of the show, The Reunion? I recall you saying that you could do some artsy work with the photos like cards and sell them. Let me see. Am I in focus there? Yeah, there we go. Let me see. Am I blurry? I know I'm not losing my vision. So, can I do something artsy with them? Yeah, I don't know. So here's the thing that you're up against, which is very boring, which is there's a likeness of celebrities. You know, you can't just, I guess maybe if he's a public place, I don't know. Could you take a picture of Frank Sinatra if he was in a concert and then put that on your own spaghetti sauce and sell it? I don't think so. I think the Sinatra estate would be knocking on your door and saying, hey, how about you don't do that? So I don't know. I have to see. I have not had a chance to go through any of those things. I haven't had a chance to go through the photos, or the Limehoff photos, or the photos. Hi, Alexander Joseph. Where did the Amy and Gianni story come from? Jealous Robert is my absolute favorite episode. Oh, that is written by me and Raymond Romano. Under the Gun. We filmed that. We made that. I even put my friend's name in there. Chuck Pecorella. His name is Frank Pecorella. But we already had a Frank, so we couldn't do Frank Pecorella, even though that's his name. How did Ray and I think of that? I have to remember. spoke to Ray this morning too, but I didn't ask him about that. That is a very good question. I don't remember. I know we wrote it, and we thought it'd be funny if Deborah and Marie were in cahoots. That would be really cool. But I don't remember, to be honest. So, excellent question. Mark that down. I'm yelling to the imaginary staff that works here. Love the wood paneling. Is there a business address we can send a holiday card? Just asking. Yes, let me see if we can post our business address, which we have. The main message I got from the reading is how caring the cast members are headed by Phil and Ray. Thank you all. Yes, Ellen, perfect description. Okay, let me taste something here. Let's see. Proper podcast. Look, yeah, we're trying to make it so it doesn't look like a normal podcast studio in any way, but it just feels like it's a cozy place where you'd like to stop by and try some snacks. Okay, here we go. The original canister given to me by Rhonda Robinson. Let me pull out. Oh, interesting. Did this open or something else fell out? There's remnants of another, and I want to say it's lemon squares. It's another, hold on. Okay, here we go. Out of the canister is this. A Kit Kat. Oh, my finger. Wow. I'm going to get fired as the rep for Kit Kat. Honeycomb flavored buzz. Wow. Let me switch hands here, folks, because that's hysterical. Honeycomb flavor buzz. I guess buzz is there. So there we go. Have a break, have a Kit Kat bar. Now, I'm told, let's see where this is originally from. Okay, let's not challenge you guys too much by putting it upside down, Tom. 100% sustainable. More about breaks for good. Cocoa plant. Wow, a lot of packaging. Wow, you could stay occupied for about an hour reading the back of this. Sell date by, and there you go. So let's taste it because we're going to run out of time, folks, because we still have to guess the script. And if I've missed any, by the way, if I ignore, it's not that I'm ignoring any of your questions, but I got to move back because Instagram is so unbelievably close. All right, I think we all know, if we're born in the world, what a Kit Kat bar is there. Look at that lens. Look how great that lens is. There is a Kit Kat bar. Honeycomb buzz. You know, this is where you have a problem because you're comparing a Jammy Dodger with a chocolate-covered I'm going to give this a 7.9. Really good. But I'm a sucker for a wafer chocolate combination. It's kind of deadly to begin with because you have the chocolate. Is it dark chocolate? I don't think so. Dark chocolate is exceptionally healthy, like eating broccoli, steamed broccoli. That's what I tell myself. So there we go, folks. The honey. Have you guys seen this anywhere? I've never seen this in my life. Yes, I've seen Kit Kats. Don't worry. Shake a share bar. I don't think so in this case. I will not be sharing this. Very, very tasty. The Kit Kat. My husband ate his weight in Kit Kat bars before and after. Sounds like there's an intervention. Okay. Let me hold up. Hold on. So, I don't know if I was blindfolded, if I would be able to tell that there's honey or a honeycomb or a buzz in it or whatever they're going for marketing-wise, but super tasty. Okay. I always have to do dry cleaning after I eat stuff. Another script. Maybe we've seen it, maybe we haven't. I don't think so. Oh, yes. Guess the script, everybody. Tom Calvano rescued from a dumpster 210 of these, 209 probably. These are wardrobe scripts, and I like to show pictures of people in their wardrobe and then see if you can guess. Oh boy, okay. So I can only show you a few photos because if I show the ones I just saw, then you will guess it instantly. That's where there's a wardrobe T. Okay, again, the least rewarding is Raymond, who looks the same in episode 1 through 210. There he is at the table, folks. Ray Romano. You guys are trying to guess. All right, hold on. I'm still enjoying my buzz from that bar. Hi, Bonnie. World Market has them. Okay, I will go there as soon as I stop. Okay, I love this. Again, for those of you who have never seen this before, sorry for the noise. The wardrobe department is discreetly taking these photos so they're not interrupting. That's why the actors don't look like they're focusing. Okay, Patty might be pregnant there. That is a little bit of a stink eye, would you call it? Or, okay. Again, I'm holding this up. I'm looking at the image backwards, reversed. So there's Patty Heaton. The beautifully attired Marie. Marie always looks great. There's Marie. And why are they showing her earrings first? That's rare. There she is smiling. And then they'd go, Doris, can you bend your neck a little? Okay. Doris Roberts in another outfit, a very common outfit for Doris, for the Marie character. Okay. Let me see. I can only go so far because then I'm telling you as soon as you name it. There's Doris looking great. I haven't seen that top that often, but you guys will know. Do we call the top? Men to call the shirt. Okay, here we go. The beautiful Peter Boyle, a delightful man to hang out with in real life. Okay, hold on. Let me hold it steady. There you go. And that might be, let's see, hold on. Hold on, folks. There's Peter. Again, this is going to be a hard one to guess because I got to stop showing you photos at some point. There we go, Peter, just grabbing his attention. Okay, so there's Robert character and Robert character. I know that was quick. And then let's see this. That's about all I can show you, folks. Maybe I can, hold on, wait a minute. I can show you this photo. Susan de Fabre there. There's Madeline Sweeten. Okay, that's a good thing. And there is Susan de Fabre with one of the twins. All right, this episode, folks. This episode. I'm not being coy. It's just that you will guess it instantly. So, earlier episodes. Let's see. Let me scroll back down and catch up. Wow, I've neglected Instagram once again. Angry letters, please, from Instagram. Okay, let's go. Let's scroll way up. Is it the American Kit Kat? No. 7.9, generous score for you. Yes, I'm becoming a softie in my advanced age. Also, I'm hungry. Zony Pony, I think you're right. You don't hear that enough. Let me scroll back up before we wrap it up. Gary was the crew member that people referred to as the Fonz at the reunion taping. Steve Messias, the second assistant cameraman, was there, and I took pictures with him. Amy Aquino was on Roseanne. Yes, she was on a ton of shows. I couldn't watch the reunion when it was aired. Hi from Sweden. Hello, Sweden. You might be able to catch it somewhere else. Paramount Plus, etc. No, I know. I was referring to the girl in Sweden. Okay. So sorry. I didn't know where else you can access. Yes, everyone is so polite. I love it. Good afternoon, Tom. Fellow photographer from Mantua, Ohio. Is that an American Kit Kat? No, I believe it is Australian. Is that what I heard? Tofu Turkey episode. Oh, these are guesses now. Here we go. Now I'm caught up. Tofu turkey episode. You're cutting off the pictures, Tom. Okay, noticing Patricia's hairstyle. Okay, hold on. That is. What did I do with that? What did I do with that script already? That's this one. Did I drop that script? I'm looking for it. Hold on. Let me see. This is not it. I don't know. Where did I place it? It is a mystery. And is this? That is not it. Nope. Don't know where it is. Okay. Sorry. I'll post more pictures. It must have fallen weird. Let me see. So many options. Nope. So it was, wow. Look at my hair. This is not a good hair day. Yes, season 3, noticing Patricia's hairstyle. Now, that would make sense because Patricia Heaton was pregnant in season 3 and season 1. So that is an excellent clue. All right, let's wrap it up soon here, folks. So much. Not be nice, not you bet. I'm helping you. Not a clue, Karen Jack. I love your honesty, your direct honesty. Ping pong, no. Not ping. Oh, that episode was just on. Interesting. She's expecting again in those photos. Yes, Patricia Heaton. All the candy bar eating seems way too sweet, and maybe you need lots of water on hand and can try tasting real dinner food. Ellen, who's going to cook me dinner to taste on the air? Okay, here, I'll wash it down with this. Super tasty. All right, let's consider, sorry everybody, the article, no. The apartment, no. The letter, no. Wow, great guesses everybody. Annabelle, great guesses. There was no crime in guessing. Trying is the most important thing. Okay, so let me see. Sorry that I was cutting off the photos. Here, this is not the episode, but let me, oh, I see it. That's where it slipped. Behind the canister. Okay, so here we go. See, really, Patty is your key. Okay, so now hold on, everybody. See, I have to go back to this. See, there's 2 different screens. So there you go. Okay, hold on. Oh boy, and these brads are coming out. Okay, so there you go. Now I'm looking at both screens, everybody. So now there, Patty is really the key, but so are the pictures that I can't show you. That in itself is a hint. Patty looking very pregnant, exceptionally pregnant, let's put it that way. So that really puts it into a specific time frame. Okay, and let's do another photo here of Doris Roberts. That's another clue, and then I can't, yeah, here we go. There's Doris Roberts, and there you go. Now I'm looking at both screens, and I'm giving myself a compliment, perfectly lined up for there. There's another one. Okay. I don't want to give you guys so many hints. Lynn, that's called cheating. Me giving you a hint, I think, right? Or is it just called giving you a hint? Dropping the turkey episode. No. Lots of food on that table. Yes. Okay. Great. Tupperware episode. No. The one with Deborah's mother. No. The visit. No. Meatball. The apartment. The article. Did any of the stand-in actors attend the reunion show? Bob, that is a great question. I don't know. I don't remember seeing any. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Here we go. Before we leave, I'm going to do this. Can you guys see that? That is the entire show right there. So, okay, so Instagram, I'm there. All right, I'm going to name as many people as I can before I leave. Or should I wait till next week? Because we're really having a long time. We're gone over here, folks. But here, in the front, just to avoid any confusion, is this. Do you see my cursor? Do you guys see my cursor? I don't know if you see my cursor. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm going to try and zoom in on. Oh, I know. I can zoom in here. Let's zoom in here, Tomster. Here we go. Yeah, I don't call myself the Tomster. It's making fun of somebody else who was Calling themselves that. Okay, now I open this. Okay. Open. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay, everybody, you ready? From left to right, that's Steve-O. Steve-O, with the hat on, is a set decorator. In front of him is Donna Stamp's daughter. Next to her is Lou Schneider, writer. Behind Lou Schneider is Dan DuPont. But between Lou Schneider and Mark Sweet is Kevin O'Donnell. Mark Sweet has the smile. Next to him with the glasses is Ken Ornstein. In front of him is Christy Kay, who is Ray's assistant. Way in back is Randall. Let me just see this. Let me do it. Is this helping you guys? Andy Kindler sticking his head out. In the front row, Amy Aquino, Lori Zacks, who was an executive, Mike Pines, next to his brother Frank Pines, Ralphie, who I mentioned, Christina Steele, Amy Janin, who worked on the show, Alex Meneses played Stefania, of course, Monica Horan, Phil Rosenthal, Roy Rosegarten in between Phil and Raymond. Raymond you recognize, Patricia Heaton you recognize, kneeling in front. I was in back, and I'm like, Brad, go kneel in front, because he kept not wanting to block people's view from the camera, so he kneeled in front, or knelt in front. Patricia Heaton's husband, David Hunt, next to him. Sharon Bussey, who was really in charge of the whole set thing, who did an amazing job, is between them. The twins, Maddie and her brother, Rhonda Robinson, next to the brother with blonde hair. She was the head of props. LJ is in set directing, did an amazing job. Carmen, who worked with Doris Roberts, who worked with Patricia Heaton, for years and years. If you buy Patricia Heaton's book, you'll see her mentioning Carmen, who worked on the show. Peter Boyle's widow, Lorraine Boyle. Stu Smiley, executive producer. Ken Shapiro, who was the director of many episodes, and the TD, I think it's called, camera coordinator. Tucker Cawley, of course. Paul Basta, cameraman behind him. Tim was in the sound department. Should I keep going, everybody? This is so many people. Maybe I'll continue. And I'm in the middle, by the way. I'm the taller gentleman directly behind Phil's head. And you know what? On another episode, the next episode, because we're really going long, I will go through every single person there, but a lot of familiar faces. Aaron Champion there. Yes, a lot of familiar faces. I'll go through them another time, and we'll give everybody their due. All right, folks, so great to see everybody. Let me just do this and do this. I don't know how to, because my camera's in the way, that's why. Okay, let's do this. Let's get rid of that photo. I get rid of this photo, and then I make this smaller, and then I can bring this down here. Yeah, otherwise it is blocked from the thing. Okay, now back to me, and there we go, and now I pull that up there, and now we're back to where we started. Okay, everybody. Karen Jack, you want to hear the answer? No, I'm going to post some of these photos, and then you guys will be forced to use your noggin to try and figure out. And I will say this, Donnell guessed the last one to a T. I just can't find that original photo, so I don't want to put it on record in case there's a lawsuit. But Donnell, excellent detective work, really put it together, because Doris Roberts was wearing that top in many different episodes, quite a few episodes, so it threw some people off. All right, everybody, we will see you next Sunday. Thank you for all your comments. I will let you know if I hear any word about anything coming up, and we will keep posting stuff all week long. Thank you so much for following, everybody. Spread the word to your friends. I think we're going to hit 71,000 followers, and we were at 25,000 not that long ago. This is your only source for somebody who actually worked on the show, who can make sure that you guys know the truth about everything behind the show, including that Amy was not dissing Patricia Heaton, which is actually funny when you hear that, for me to hear that. And that's even a thing. So thank you very much for visiting. Thank you again for answering any questions. We will see you guys next week.